sometimes they take the actual album itself, the music itself, and then give it to white jazz bands, white artists. And this is where jazz, we know jazz is a black art form.
All day.
Our minds, we only see white people playing it. And this is where it comes from. They used to take the music, they used to spend the money, have the black people record. They used to take the music and give it to white people. And then white people used to emulate it and play it. Just said, that example you've given with Sinach is a model they've been doing from the 20s when there was sick racism, when they wouldn't even put black people and allow them to perform in front of white people because of segregation and the race. They're still doing it.
Sure. Affinity Extra, be extra.
Yes, my people, we're here on the edge. We're here to keep things edgy, and you know me already when it comes to black lives and black issues and black all things that are black. Let me just make sure I set up my Zoom because I got a special guest here, someone who I've worked with, co-labored as I say, in the past, doing cool events, the person that used to know about my deals before I even signed the paper. She's laughing because she knows I would get this phone call after the sign the deal details with the US. Somehow I'll get the phone call straight away afterwards. I'll be like, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yo, watch it. I hear this is happening. Let's do this. And it's Charisse, man. When I did Amazing GR Lives, I did, and you know, and you managed and a quality cohort of artists that were international and UK, which was crazy. You know what I'm saying? To be. I don't think anyone's touched that to this day when it comes to the UK rap scene. And no offense to the guys today in the UK rap scene. I think what we don't recognize within the gospel now is the power and the usefulness of management and the, you know, the stewardship of management. And I believe them artists definitely benefited from Charisse. I saw at work, I saw developing relationships with the US. When you got quality, you need somebody being a power broker. And as I said with my friend Colin Tomlin, the lack of power brokers that we have in the UK gospel industry is the problem why we haven't gone further than what we are. You know what I'm saying? It's great having talent, but we need power brokers. Not to say, you know, but I have to big up, man, because, you know, she was definitely a power broker back then, you know, and who to say where we'll be. But you know what? God had his plan for her life. And in a time such as this, all of a sudden, she's part of an organization called Black Lives in Music. Yeah. And I'm proud of that. You know, I'm proud of somebody in my generation, background culturally similar, actually caring about the future, caring about black people. I'm learning so much about our input into the musical realm, number oneness when it comes to the music realm. And, you know, I definitely want Charisse to really chop up the heart. The reason why she's done this, you know, because I'm passionate about what we haven't achieved because of a lack of knowledge. But I believe this is where Charisse will come in and whatsoever. And also the institutionalized racism within a genre, within the entertainment world, where we have actually changed the game, but we're still facing systemic racism. How's that be? How's that the case? You know what I mean? You know, we change the game every 2 weeks. Why are we still here? You know what I'm saying? You teeth our sound, you sing like us, and you sell 20 times more. Say no more. You know what I'm saying? Our musicians get paid less. Our musicians don't know how to create residual incomes. All these things, we're not educated, but we're here to change things here with Black Lives in Music. Charisse, please explain to me how you came from gospel to how can I go? Social music, entertainment, everything in one. Just explain that little journey for us, so people won't think that you've totally off the radar and you're there with your Rasta hair and a Rasta hat, and you know what I mean, and you got Muslim on us.
Listen, if I was there with my Rasta hat, that would be it, because people understand where we're from, though. You know, and I'm glad you asked that question, because as Bob Marley says, you know, if you don't know your history, you won't know your future. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rasta hat all day. So how did I transition from gospel? Actually, it was just the journey that God has me on. continue the journey. I decided I hit a glass ceiling. There was not much I could do because of certain issues that we're going to talk about today. And on a personal level, I wanted more out of my life. I wanted a family. I worked so hard, and I wanted a family. I wanted a husband. None of these things were even on my radar. And you know what? Let me drop out for a bit. I'll come back and just thought, take a sabbatical. That sabbatical became permanent. I went to do some missionary work, humanitarian work in Nepal.
Yeah, man, I remember the pictures.
And that changed me because it harnessed, you know what, God doesn't work in it. And when you're isolated or sectioned off, sometimes you can hear a bit more. When I was over there, I didn't listen to music at all. No one could even play a piece of music near me. I didn't want to hear no music. I just wanted to hear what God would have for me over there. And it's about Nepal, but the point is, this is a journey. Anyway, while I was there, I understood who I was a little bit, what I liked.
Okay.
So I love music. I love people.
Come on.
And I love the aspect of what drove me in terms of to be successful was a simple thing. How many people can we reach with our message? That was it. How many people we can reach? It was always Christ-centered. It was always the gospel that pushed me. Okay,
sweet.
And then, so I realized, actually it was purpose-driven. I was more purpose-driven than the glam and the glitz and the results, if you would. Anyway, left music altogether. Still, I was not interested in coming back. I was headhunted by an amazing organisation called Help Musicians. So if you're a gospel artist, then you may have heard of Help Musicians because they were giving out some grants during the pandemic. They're still giving out grants now, even if you've applied. So this is a little pitch. Even if you've applied, go and get your money. It's there. It's going to get hard for musicians this year and for the foreseeable future. Don't play, get your money. Anyway, so they headhunted me to sit on the board. I sat on the board of Help Musicians. Help Musicians at the time was more primarily jazz and classical. So I'm starting to see the disparities here, and I recognize them very well in gospel music, but I saw the disparities and I was like, there's no diversity, there's no people of color. You're only giving money to this, you're only doing this, there's only awards and things for, where's the black people are there though? Why are there opportunities and access not there? And I'm sitting there and watching this and I'm speaking out in the boardroom and whatnot. George Floyd happens, and then I was asked to create a business case. And then when I created this business case, or in the creation, the first thing I was looking for was evidence, to prove. There was nothing. There was no data on black people at all.
Jesus.
Nothing. And I was like, that's the first thing we need to sort out, the data. And that's how Black Lives in Music was born.
Wow.
I was paired up with our co-founder, Roger Wilson, an amazing classically trained musician, played across theatre, big top.
Heard of his name before? Yeah, definitely heard of his name.
Yeah, so Roger Wilson, two Rogers. So, and he and we developed a model where we work within organisations to create diversity from the inside out. We have over 60 partners, including the Royal Opera House. We've signed up some big names even this week. Can't mention them until it's all official, but
brilliant.
We are doing extremely well. And what's most important is that we're giving a voice where there wasn't one.
Come on. Yeah.
One, our experience, we all know what we're about to speak about it now. Got our experience, but no one was listening to us. But they can't deny data. You can't gaslight data. And it gave us a voice. And that data is really important. So I'm really proud of what we achieved. Proud of what we made behind the scenes, which I'll go to later.
No, that's sweet because I looked in the BBC end of 2021 and I saw the article. Look, with a feature of a couple of artists saying about the disparity, of income streams when it comes to black artists and how they've been treated. Now, me looking in from the church, I come from the Christian music scene. I would almost say that my counterparts have got it better in the secular world because obviously you see them more, whatever, they're still out there. And I would say that but from that shake of the head, you're saying it's just as hard.
Difference is that there's infrastructure. In the gospel industry, there's no infrastructure, there's no investment. In the mainstream industry, in the commercial industry, there's a little bit of investment. As a matter of fact, they will tell you 250 million has been invested in A&R. I think last year, and so there.
Yeah, man.
No, because
but do you think because when I say gospel music, the reality show is kind of weird way. Gospel is like the church version of urban. Yeah, so basically it's black. Basically, it's like saying urban music was basically black people music back in, obviously, until they got rid of the word urban. And then now for me, gospel is Christian music, which is done by black folk, you know what I'm saying, black folk style. And so for me, when I look at it, almost, even just take the gospel out of it, if you look at Christian music scene, it has got money in it.
It does. Of course it does. If you come to America, you can see, why people can live a life, and in over here there are certain musicians, certain worship leaders who are, they're living nice. They're just living a nice life, and without mentioning any names, you're living a nice life. You know who you are. And but when it comes to black people, no investment. No. We'll use you for backing vocalists. We'll use your songs even. Right sing
for
it
me.
church.
Right for me.
No investment behind it. We're doing it ourselves, and this is not even grassroots. This is beyond grassroots because we've been doing it for hundreds of years. So it's always been within. And like I said, if they like something, they'll take. Let's take that. Let's take that. Let's take that. But they will not create a space. They will not create access. They will not create opportunities. There's segregation. There's them, and then there's us. Okay, and they create it. Okay? And that's what it is. I'm going to call it for what it is. You can't say I don't. That analogy, I disagree with Roger. Gospel music is the church's version of urban. No, gospel music is just gospel music. The foundation of all music. All music. Think about your rock, gospel. Think about your rap, gospel. Think about every pop, everything is got its roots.
Is in gospel music.
Into gospel. It comes from gospel music.
But the thing is, you can't say that though, sis. Not saying you can. You are saying it, and I totally agree with you. But when you go into them certain fields, as black people in the past, we've been too afraid to tell Martha, hold on a second, your teeth. We just been too scared to say it.
Because there's been lawsuits. We don't need to go into that, but there's been people that have spoken up and said, "Wait a minute, that's and you just get shut down." You've had my lived experience. My lived experience is I've gone into them places and said, wow, basically this is an artist, he's fantastic, he's doing great things. And it's almost like I'm going, they're not listening. They're not listening. The moment they see, I'm going to be nice and say gospel, because I'm not gospel. I've never been gospel. I've been hip-hop. Straight. I've always said that. Anyone who knows me knows I actually don't even like gospel music. But I will say, I will say, I've gone into these and they've seen is gospel. And if I really rip what I'm saying down, you can edit this. All they see is black, and they're not interested. No, not editing, nothing out, man. Just say it as it is. You've got some of the most talented people. Who they'll give a little to. I'm not mentioning names, but when that person's speaking up and saying, you know what, I don't want to be seen as a gospel artist. I don't do gospel. I do worship music. I want to be a worship. Worship leaders are white. You're gospel, or worship lead. You're not a worship leader. We'll put you in the gospel category. Why? Because you're black.
Yeah.
But you can't be a worship leader.
But yet,
and be honest, that's where they put the investment.
Yeah. That's
when you're more mainstream. That's when you can go and do your touring when you're a worship leader. The moment you're a gospel artist, you're in this little box.
But worship is basically rock and roll soft up anyway, still, yeah. And who invented rock and roll?
Yeah. Which worship's that? Which worship's that? This is me and you, Roger. Which worship's that? When I got saved, you know what? Worship wasn't soft rock and it was it was a Hillsong, but prior to that, it was something else. Worship's evolved. Worship now, when I was 5 years ago, worship sounded like Coldplay. Anything Coldplay was doing. It evolves. In other words, and if we really look biblically, what is worship? What I'm saying, worship should not have no color. Worship is to glorify God,
and it shouldn't have a sound. It shouldn't have. It
should be whatever sound. Worship can be no sound. It can be mute, and you're doing all that dancing. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's worship. So why are you putting a color in it? Why are you putting a category? And what you can say is, well, it's industry. Okay, well then if it's industry, why are you not making the investment where it counts? And that's where I say it's race.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and it's racism in my view, because you are happy to take the sound. You are happy. You tell me Governor B, and I'll call the names now. What investment have you made in Governor B? Have you signed him yet? Man's been on the scene for, I don't even know, he's an old
man. You know what I'm saying? He's an old man Pickney. He came on as a teenager.
We've known him since he was still in school time.
Yeah,
on
man.
G5.
Yeah, man.
He got Pickney and all now.
Jeez, man.
All now you're not signing him.
It's incredible.
Our stages would, I call names because I don't, it's the past, but I love, and the thing is I love my guy anyway, but then let me not call names. Yeah. Christian events.
Yeah.
The black people, where you might bring out a Dana or a Lecrae. You might. Okay, you might bring down a Lecrae, but no, you'll see Gonga, you'll see everybody else, and the black people are on some fringe stage, like we're
some side chick,
like we're in back in the day, like our music's not listened to, like you're not gonna take from our music. You'll put LZ7 there, but you're not gonna put Jahaza come on, let's call it.
But the thing is, and this is the weirdest thing, and it's almost like I call it it. And this is why they don't want to open that thing in the Christian music scene. In the secular music scene, I see them opening up the team through Black Lives in music, yeah. But one thing I've noticed with our people is almost like I'm open to talk about these subjects when it comes to blackness, but I find that Christians are more bothered about white fragility. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going, the facts are the facts. If I thump you in the face, why are we pretending I can never thump you? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If I'm holding you back, you know what I'm saying? And the reality show is how on earth is hip-hop the biggest genre in the world right now? And you look at...
Has been for about 20 years, by the way.
What's that?
And has been for 20
about
years.
20 years. Have we seen... If you were interested in the gospel Christian music scene, yeah, if you're actually interested to spread and communicate to your young people who are listening to all the black artists out there, that rappers in the secular scene, yeah, if he's actually interested, you would have invested over a decade ago into Christian hip hop, seeing it as a communication for young people, but you don't invest into it because then you have to invest into majority black artists.
I think, to be honest with you, even if we had someone who tested something,
yeah.
And I'm saying, actually, you know what? I'm going to invest in this rapper, this black rapper. Okay, investment looks like a whole marketing plan, making sure he's at shows, making sure he crosses over to America, making sure he's everywhere, blah blah blah, like you do with everyone else, everybody that's not black. See what happens. See how you can change the industry. See how you can. What impact that would make. It would make an amazing impact. Okay. And on top of that, you can't say, oh, well, they're not really accepted, or we can't earn money from it. That's nonsense, Steadily invest in a white rock group from thing who ain't got no followers, no nothing going on for them, and say, yeah, we know what to do with this, let's shape. And if you don't know what to do, get a black person on board and part of your team. Invest in the structure of your company.
Yeah.
Whatever Christian company there is now, David C. Cook, I don't know who runs Ting Integrity. Where's your people in the company that can tell you what's up, that can tell you what's going on? Where this is the investment we're talking about. If you keep doing the same thing, nothing will change, and that's what's happened. Nothing has changed. You've not invested in your companies to have more black employees at all, or if they're not a receptionist at senior management level, where they can make some decisions. You've not made an investment into the culture. You've not made an investment into the Christian music industry. The Christian music industry. When I think about Lecrae, and this is controversial, but I'll call it for what it is because I ain't scared, right? Lecrae got to where he was because his partner was white. He was a white man.
Yeah, mate. Of course we know, man. We know. Ben.
Let's just chat it.
Straight. Yeah, straight.
If Lecrae was on his own, or his manager, or his partner was a black man, he would have never got to where he got to. Never. And even then, but for Ben, it was a struggle. Let it be known as well. It's not
it's not easy.
But at least Ben had something for him where his voice was getting heard. For the rest of us, our voice ain't getting heard. My point is, after a while, and this is the reason why we did Black Lives in Music. After a while, you're like, God, we got to make this evidence. We've been talking for hundreds of years. Our plight.
Yeah.
The only way we can do this, make it factual.
Yeah.
Collect some evidence. Let's do it. Let's get some data on this. And that's what I'm saying. That data is for the gospel market. It doesn't discriminate in terms of genre.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Give you a little section of data for the gospel market for you to use. Okay, and understand that as black women, we're not seen as equal in the music industry. We're still standing behind the guy with the guitar singing BVs forever and ever. Amen. For black people who are instrumentalists and at the top of their craft, nobody can even come next to them when it comes to licking the guitar and the bass. Yeah. Are we at the forefront?
Still sessioning, man. Still doing it. I was watching an artist that came through later on in my GL lives. Run about GL Live 3-4. She came on the scene. I won't mention her name, and I see she's an artist, a white artist, good artist. She's done a couple of black gigs, and she got a little vibe to her. And her BVs, I'm looking at her BVs. I know from back in the day, they're about my age, and the BVs are banging singers. I'm not saying they want to do solo, but I'm going. Are we always going to be the BVs for the big bands?
No, because if you look at it, bro, and this is across the industry and in gospel, we've got talent, strong, and then on top of that, if you look at society as a whole, if you're associated with blackness, black culture, seen as cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
so a white rapper can't come out without a black cosign.
100%. Yeah.
If you're a white singer and you sing a little bit edgy, like a little bit not too pop, trust me, you got black dancers in the background doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's my point. Like, they'll take our culture. If you look at my girl now, it's all calm down. I'll mention her name because I don't want to be involved in that mess. The truth is, Jessie from Little Mix. It's atrocious. That is actual, like, atrocious. And listen, I wasn't talking at the time. Trust me, I had all the papers call me up. The Mirror, the Sun, all the big guns call my phone because talking about give us a quote. I said, I'm not quoting because I'm not contributing to anything that goes on afterwards, any mental health issues. I'm not trying to do that to my girl. And plus, it's not her fault. You know whose fault it is? It's the record labels. It's the A&Rs who are all white who say, go and stand next to Diddy and darken up your skin and you'll be palatable, you'll be accepted because you look black. But you won't make the investment to have a black person actually sing that tune and stand next to Diddy. A black woman sing that tune and stand next to Diddy. You won't make the investment. It's the mindset is across the board. It's in gospel music, it's in Christian music, especially in Christian music. And it's worse in Christian music because they're still dealing with segregation. Segregation,
Segregation, in churches, we're segregated.
Segregation. It's segregation. got your black church and you got your white church. Brazen. You got the Dove Awards and you got the Stella Awards. Brazen. You know what I mean? How can you be so divided, but yet we're all one body, kumbaya? Oh, we're bringing black people when we need a session musician. I have people texting my phone, and I'm listen, do not edit this because I don't care. People texting my phone. You don't text me when Martin Smith's dropped a tune with a normal song on his own. Yeah. Or something. You don't text me with that. You don't text me when Tim Hughes has dropped a new album or Matt Redman. Matt Redman, I do love.
Yeah. They got big tunes, man. They got a couple of big tunes. Yeah.
Like love. But anyway, you don't text me with them things. You text me when you're singing with Kingdom Choir. You text me when what you do? Why are you texting me? Because I'm black. I don't even like the song. You're texting me your stuff because I'm black. What do you want me to do with this? You want me to put it in my circles because I'm black, but you're not helping. You're not blending. You've got segregation. It's a segregation mindset.
Yeah, man. The one the little people do that.
Album. When Tim Hughes dropped Lockdown tune, I can't remember the song, but trust me, that song was beautiful. And that when I sent that through. Right? When they do, when it's a black thing, I'm getting Christian record label Charisse. Don't Charisse me nothing. Don't ever text me nothing, because for me, when I got that text, it was an offence to me. To me. Why? Because you're saying, Charisse, you're only good for black music.
Yes. But yet they've got colleagues that oversee black music and get paid heavily amount of money to oversee and make major decisions.
What do they know about black music more than someone who's from the black culture? How's that even make sense? And I don't even aspire to that.
But the thing is, here's a point that you raised right at the beginning. You talked about it's okay for them to sing our songs. Now, I'm talking to my colleagues, and something that people are encouraging people to do is to write. Yeah. And I'm happy with people writing for songs and worship leaders using your songs, or not worship leaders, but artists utilizing your song. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe rappers are more personal because they need to use their own rap bars. I understand that. But when it comes to singers, in industry, you have songwriters. Yeah, great songwriters. Some people just stick to it. You're a decent singer, but stick to songwriting. Yeah, amen. But the reality shows, what I don't like to sing, and I'll just call it as it is. We have we have discussions where we look at the situation with Snatch. Now, Snatch blew up massively as a black woman, amazing, blew up in her own country, Nigeria, massive things. She's going on with things. Then Integrity jumps on it. And then for me, Integrity got her song and got two other white bands to sing it and actually sell more in the US. Now, for some people, that's okay. But for me, that shows an evidence that racism. For me, it's racism. It's disrespectful.
Racism. Do you know there's something called Race Records from back in the day?
Oh yes, yeah. Kevin's been teaching me, man. Race Records, like that's just taking the biscuit.
So what they used to do, I'm so terrible at things, but let me try. What they used to do is they'd get black singers, and they'd used to record songs. Okay? And sometimes they'll push the song out without doing touring. They'll buy that album and push it in the circles, not invest in the artist, not invest in nothing like that, just buy the album, push in circles. Sometimes they take the actual album itself, the music itself, and then give it to white jazz black bands, white artists. And this is where jazz, we know jazz is a black art form.
All day.
Our minds, we only see white people playing it. And this is where it comes from. They used to take the music. They used to spend the money, have the black people record. They used to take the music and give it to white people. And then white people used to emulate it and play it. Just said, that example you've given with Sinach is a model they've been doing from the 20s. When there was sick racism, when they wouldn't even put black people and allow them to perform in front of white people because of segregation and the race. They're still doing it.
And the thing is,
because they would never, instead of integrity, say, you know what, this song is banging, Afrobeats is popping, starting to bubble. Let's invest in Sinach and then put her on tour in America next to Matt Redman or one of them ones, and still then put the investment in and increase her fan base and increase her wealth and increase her influence. No. Actually, we'll just take this song and give it to some white person and increase what they're doing. And that's how it is. No investment in our talent. No investment. And they just take.
But the thing is, it's clearly, guys, it also says a statement about white Christians. You cannot hack the fact that a black woman, not brown skin, not softy hair blender, you sleep in there, look at, she got green eyes. Nope. A black woman can go on the stage and lead you in worship. Like, that's too much. We got to get Michael to do that song instead. We got to get a band. I can't remember the name of the band. They did it as well. I'm sure Michael W. Smith did his version, and Integrity kind of picked up the track and whatever. And I know that a friend of ours who works at I don't want to expose his name, but he's very proud about Scout finding the artists. But for me, there's a mindset that needs to change. You need to stop saying that you're discovering us. You say,
bro, don't bring this up on the camera. Don't do that. You know I can't curb.
They always talk like they discovered. How can you discover?
And not invest. It doesn't make any sense. I don't care. You went to a concert and you went to a church and you heard someone rap. You went to I can't remember, Spirit of Life or one of them conferences. I can't remember.
Yeah. Fire conference, man. Fire. Yeah.
Conference. And you heard someone and you said, "Yeah, I discovered." You discovered Jack.
Yeah.
You discover. Yeah. When you make the investment. That's when you discover. When you put the money in. Yeah. That's when you discover.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm saying.
That's when you start saying discover. And let me tell you, if you can give me one artist, bar Noel Robinson, and Noel Robinson only just got it the other day after how many years of rolling with him, man. Give me one artist,
decades, guys, decades.
Give me one artist they've made the investment in. Just give me one. Go on, you give me one because it's been a long time. Shame me.
There's none. Because I would have seen the pennies going through, and even
but anyone Christian, give me one.
I can't. Black in terms of black.
Black Christian artists, gospel artists, anyone. Give me one, just one.
You could. I can't say Kingdom Choir because they sang.
Sony, that was Sony. Give me one. That was Sony. Sony jumped on it and done their thing. That's investment, by the way. Give me one. And that wasn't even a good investment, but let's leave that.
Yeah. Let's leave that one.
Give me one.
Oh, goodness sake! I can't think of one. You know. Christian music. How
long Karen and them been around singing?
Who's that?
Look how long Karen and them.
Oh, she's been around for decades. Like people talking about she's been singing from the 80s.
Yeah, it took for Sony. But give me one. And you know what? Not Levin Hudson days. I'm not talking about that. Secular. By the way, that was all secular people.
Secular, and it's like New Colours. That back in the day, that was all secular market and everything like that. Still, yeah. But in terms of gospel, I remember when New Life got Integrity deal, but that's back in the day as well.
Okay. When was that?
That was oh my goodness sake, just before you started up, in the period just before you kind of kicked in, about a couple of years before you kicked in.
Okay, so we're talking about Raymond and Co. Did they get one?
I think they got a distribution deal or something like that still, yeah. But they weren't now popping record deals, because here's the joke now. This is the scary thing is now, and I'd rather say it is like this, because I spoke to the producer that was working with them projects at that time, yeah. Now, bear in mind, at that period, Mary's been released, yeah, and Kurt Franklin, you know what I'm saying? Now,
Kurt Franklin was gone, blowing up.
Mary was charting. People were dancing to that tune in the clubs. People don't have to recognize, Shackles was being danced to in all clubs.
You go out to a bar,
it was massive. So Integrity was in a golden era of gospel music. What people didn't realize, because they were distributing gospel music in the UK, they had the deal. What people didn't realize is that they had a deal with Sony to distribute it to all the shops in the UK. Did they press that button? No.
Why? That might not be their fault. That don't sound like that's their
No. They just never pressed the button. That's not there. The end of the day, so you have the contract signed, and you looked, and this is when because you don't have a Charisse or a Roger in there, seeing you need to push that too, because the reality show is people in Carlisle are looking for Mary, they can't find it, so they lose interest. So because they got so many distribution deals into HMVs and all that business all around the place, sitting there, but all they care about is the bait shops, CLC, High Street, Wesley Owens. That's the circuit we were pushing.
Maybe they didn't have the power or the infrastructure to ensure. Maybe the deal, there might be something behind that. But no, if they didn't push the button,
you need people in there, like you said, in powerful positions to drive certain deals. Because when I go to record companies, and at the time when I was doing, GR Live, I'll ask the record companies, how many records have so-and-so sold? When I can, because you can literally go to Integrity at the time, because it was CDs, believe it or not, and you would have to, there's no Spotify, guys, there's no Tidal, nothing, and you go to them and said, how many CDs you sold? People like Dietrich Haddon was only doing 1,000 units in the whole of Europe. Because there is an infrastructure that needs to be created.
Mm-hmm. And it needs to be created.
Yeah.
There are no publishing companies. Ooh. There are no real distributions, or in this day and age, anyone doing any form of marketing deals, licensing deals. None of those things are in place. All now, they don't. It's almost like they don't know how to market. Like they've been in this. And these are the things that we need. We need publishing.
Yeah, man.
Publishing companies. And we need people to create. It takes individuals. I could have created a publishing company. For me, I'm like, when you're looking at people like Audrey Gray and people that are more on the business side and the mindset side, but you can't do everything yourself.
I know.
People in these organizations to make the investment in the infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's something this is why money ain't being made in Integrity the way it should be. This is why they're getting bought out every 5 minutes, because they're not doing the infrastructure correctly.
Yeah.
And slowly all these things will go, because we're into the metaverse, music's changing, it's going to be fan based.
And they missed the trick where they had a cohort of black artists that they could have invested in, that could be right now be the flag bearers that are in their 30s, and they could be flag bearers for the next generation.
Now though, they can still make that investment.
Yeah.
If there was a real strategy, how can we get all the great minds together, white, black, Chinese, Asian, everybody come together and say, how can we invest into the Christian music industry, and look at it, look at the genres, look at everything. Look at who's popping, look at who's successful. What do we need? We need a publishing company. We need someone we need something that's enabled to engage on marketing, online marketing, on like these basic music principles. And none of these things are happening. Listen, erase everything I've said before and listen to what I'm saying. Unless you do that, you're gonna die. And you're gonna die. Like Integrity, you're gonna die unless you. Sorry to say it.
Yeah.
Sorry to say it. Unless you adapt, you will die. And that's what we're seeing in the mainstream industry. They're crying and they're selling their catalogs for $500 million and 250 million, because they understand the music industry is going in a direction that's completely different.
Totally different.
And they're realizing that these streaming companies are things are pulling away from the streaming companies, because you've got record labels buying up the players, buying up catalogs, buying up things, investing in TikToks, investing in software, and you man still ain't even got a publishing company.
Sis, this is good. So I know I know we're gonna close down in a bit, sis. Now, Black Lives in Music now. Absolutely fantastic, because we can talk about the issues all day long and what we need to do going forward. But the thing is now, how is Black Lives in Music going to be plugging into what we're doing when it comes to black music? Because we in Affinity Xtra, we obviously here to celebrate gospel music of black origin, 100%.
Absolutely. As you know, behind the scene, we have conversations, and as you know, we are creating, as what Black Lives in Music does, even though we are across the music industry. We know who's who, and we're creating networking opportunities, actions for organisations such as the GMIA. I want to encourage you to sign up to the GMIA, learn the music industry. As Christian artists, we've got this thing where we just say, well, God will just. And God will just, because God is faithful.
Oh, Lord, you sound like me now.
But faith without works is dead.
Yeah, man.
But my people perish because of a lack of knowledge. But there's things you must invest. And GMIA are giving you the tools to understand what it means to be an independent artist. We spent the majority of this call talking about the bigger organizations and they're not signing. But it doesn't matter in a couple of years' time. Is that the power will be with the artist. So you've got to talk up yourself.
Yeah, man.
Know what it means to monetize your money, know your value and your worth as a musician, even though if they don't, you do, God does, because God gave you the talent. So understand what that is, harness it, and be a part of a community. And you'll have that with the GMIA. Black Lives in Music are doing what we can to work with the GMIA and other organizations that work in Christian music to amplify the voices of Black musicians. You might not see me every day on camera, but understand behind closed doors.
I know. You're working hard. Yeah, man.
And we're making them moves.
Yeah, man.
And making them moves for everyone as well. So do your bit. All it is, sign up to the GMIA, subscribe, and take the classes they're teaching you. And trust me, you will elevate. You will elevate, and it will do massive for your ministry, for your music. Yeah.
No, that's crazy cool, season, and I do kind of like have to again celebrate what you're doing, and it's again, you know, I will have to put it on. I have to put it on record. I'm not waiting for any crazy situation to happen, but I would definitely salute your hard work. I know it's a daily process in the background, making this situation work. But I believe it's an opportunity for our generation to really change things for the better, not to suit ourselves, but for the better. And because of God in our heart, I believe that it's not about vengeance, but it's about making things better for the generation now and the generation tomorrow, and putting things in place that forever be integral to safeguard the future of you know, things are never going to be perfect, and I think sometimes we accept because we're coming into the boss's country that we will forever be, but it's no, the boss is the boss in our countries. So it's a time that we have to balance things out, you know what I mean? And we had to show is that, you know, Black music has played the part in revolutionizing the entertainment world, the part. You know, I talked to Kevin Tomlin, it does historical things with us, and we look at this like until I think it was Aretha Franklin, she turned it into $1 billion business in the US. You know what I'm saying? You know, and until certain Black artists did certain things, Elvis Presley chilled out with, you know what I mean, his music's heavily influenced. He's the king. I grew up King Elvis. Man, he was rocking with all the man them. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was influenced by so many Black composers and writers and singers and musicians, and it's got to be, and the record has to be stopped, you know, to recognize our things. So our children. But also on the last note, I have to salute you as well with jazz and classical music. It's a pushback, because myself, I picked up a trombone as a kid. Yeah, that's my first love, a trombone. I got picked in class for a trombone, but then my dad says, I'm buying you a piano, so put down the trombone, we're gonna play piano. I only did up to grade 3 in the piano, but maybe it could have been a different game for me if I kept to my first love, which was the trombone at school. But because my parents didn't see it being a valid instrument, or like, you know, for our community, but it's just re-educating and creating opportunities for Black kids to feel like, yo, this is something that I can do. Unfortunately, I never had the opportunity to do it. I look back, little regret, going, what could have been? You know what I'm saying? As a musician, I could have been a decent trombonist, but I wasn't. But you opening up them art forms and re-educating Black people, this is not just a white instrument thing. This is not just for white people to play classical. Black people be involved in these arenas, or orchestrating, or being the founders of these arenas, full stop. And it's having that education to make Black people think of, stop doing this to ourselves. These genres have been whiteified and
there's a lot of work to do, you know, bro. There's a lot of work to do, because we're talking about the culture, we're talking about education, we're talking about being exposed, and just looking at the whole holistic aspect of you know, Black lives in music, and tearing down the barriers that stop us from progressing. And it's a lot of work, but we're doing it.
No, you're doing it.
We're happy to be doing it with you guys as well. And we've got some things planned in the, like, exciting stuff that involve young people, you know, exposing them to more music instruments, regional as well, outside of London. You know, we want to make sure that all Black people have an equal opportunity to fulfill their dreams and their goals in the music industry at every level. And that's what we do. And so, yeah, continue to support us. We've got more research coming out this year, and we're going to make up a lot more noise. And I feel like, you know, really pray about what the gospel industry is going to look like. Are you going to start making up some noise? And if you don't make up some noise, that's fine, because we're making up the noise. What differences are you going to make? What change are you going to make? What onus are you going to think?
Come on.
You know, and I think that's what you need to do. You need to start making the steps for change, because everything's there. It's obvious. Rock the boat, because, you know, it's not. Nah, man, Jesus rock boats, you know.
This is it, man.
Jesus rock boats. Like, seek God, asking for clarity and asking for guidance. But Jesus rock boats, and we got to rock the church. Listen, it's getting its own rocking anyway.
Amen.
But, you know, we got to rock some boats.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, 100%. But listen, I'm going to love and leave Charisse here. Black Lives Music. I'll put some link in the description, you know, if you're listening in on YouTube or any of the other platforms, because we want to definitely direct you to Black Lives Music and for you to submit to their newsletters and what they're doing out right there now. So well done, sis, and keep up the good work. And listen, let's do this 2022, man, and touch base near the end of the year, mashing up some things and going, yeah, man, with changes. I believe changes are going to happen this year, 100%, man, yeah? Listen, sis, you take care and nothing but love, man.
All right, then. Take care.
Bless you.
Hey, this is your Bishop. This is your Bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta and wherever you want to find us. On Spotify, you can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of Black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.